fatalities rose, and I believe this was over the same period we've been talking about, kind of the COVID era, 50% among drivers 16 and 17 and 21 to 25. That's such a vulnerable population. They're the newer, less experienced drivers. To what do you attribute that?
Well, like you said, they're the youngest drivers. They're their experience matters. Driving is a very complex task. You're paying attention to and making decisions like that the whole time we're driving. And experience really matters. I was really pleased this year when we passed a reform to our driver's education rules. So starting in
I'm listening because I have a driver in training in the household, so I'm paying attention.
Good for you. Right now, if you're 16 and 17, you have to take driver's ed before you can get your driver's license. And what we saw was a lot of people waiting until they're 18 to do that. And so when we looked at those who had gotten licensed at 16 and 17 and compared them to people who waited, we could see a real protective factor for 16 and 17-year-olds who got their license after getting driver's ed, and other regulations that go on to that with driving 50 hours of
certain
practice.
Number of hours,
and restrictions on nighttime, daytime, number of passengers. But what we saw was there were a lot of people who were skipping driver's ed, not because they wanted to skip driver's ed, but because they couldn't afford it, or they couldn't get to one. There wasn't an easy place to go. They have to drive 3 hours to do their driving. It was a big problem. And this bill does some really exciting things. So it's going to extend the need for driver's education before licensing up to age 21. It'll do it a year at a time starting in 2027. So then you'll have to be 18. If you're 18 and younger, you'll have to get driver's ed, and then increase a year after that, so that by the time anybody who was born in 2009 will be subject to this new, or later, will be subject to this extended period of needing to get driver's education before you get your license. It benefits everyone. Like, we're all out on the roads, and we'll have more trained drivers out on the roads with us. It also did a really great thing, because I mentioned before, some people just can't afford it.
It's not cheap.
It's not cheap. And
so it used to be, at least when I was growing up, you did it through school.
You never even thought about the cost of it.
Right. And I can't remember much of those details then, but nowadays it's mostly happening, or maybe exclusively happening,
There's
private
very
schools.
few schools that still have it right now. Part of the package is looking at how do we get more driving instructors trained and out on the roads to teach more people in especially rural areas, and underserved areas, right?
You can check out the rest of the show by clicking on the link below, or by watching Inside Olympia Thursday evenings at 7 and 10.